Hey folks, welcome back to Farming Simulator and Zolonka, and been a mighty while. So long, in fact, I'd forgotten what we were doing. I last time was mowing grass and baling it, and I didn't get around to coming back on here and wrapping it. So we are going to be doing some wrapping. Don't worry, I'm not going to rap at you. You're fine. You're safe. I saved that bad joke for my family. There is a wrapper in the sales, so we are going to purchase it, and we're going to go wrap the bales. I have added precision farming in, finally. It's been so long, precision farming has released and been updated. And really, from 3-point and front loader, that is correct. Are we worried about the supporting roller? Yeah, I don't think so. We'll go for green. I think we will purchase that. There we go. And yeah, so not most, basically all of my Farming Simulator play since Precision Farming released has been testing precision farming. And so hence no Let's Play videos. So precision farming is available. And a lot of that's been focused on testing stuff to do with weeds. So I did a whole suite of testing with version 1 of precision farming, and it was pretty darn broken. And I had produced a video to talk about how it was broken, and then Giants announced they were updating it, and so I didn't bother releasing that in the hope that it would be fixed. It has been. That video is 99% done, so I've got all of the gameplay footage done, I've got all of the analysis done, I've recorded the commentary. I'm currently away in a hotel. I recorded the commentary yesterday on my first night away in the hotel, but I forgot to bring with me the project file for the video editing software that I use, so I can't finish it. So yeah, that's why you're not getting that video today. But I'll be back home for me tomorrow. For you, I'll already be at home by the time you're seeing this video. So I'll get that video finished, and that video might have come out before this video. I just wanted to get another video in the bag while I'm away and in a hotel on my own for the evening, so it seemed kind of sensible. So let's unload this guy. So yeah, we've got a bunch of bales to wrap. We have added precision farming, so we need to do all of the precision farming things. So we need to scan fields, we need to fix lime and fertilizer, probably, and apart from the poplar field, this is a good point for us to be doing it. So the grass fields are freshly mown. The one of our fields is sat empty. We'll have a chat about cover crops maybe in the next one of these videos. Cover crops are maybe not as good as all of us had hoped. I haven't done a video on them, basically because the way they work is kind of simple and kind of disappointing in my mind. And we can go into the help menu, because I think it's covered in here. We go down to precise farming and subsidies, and basically, yeah, if you've got oilseed radish in the field in February you get 200 euros per acre. So why is that relevant? Well, the plan was with the field that we have just harvested soybeans from, we were going to look at putting in the cover crop to see how it worked before we put grass in there to get a sneaky cut of grass off it. My thought is actually maybe we just throw grass in, and if we plant grass now, or maybe probably this month, maybe even next month, we'll get a cut off it in the spring, which will probably be about the point that we're looking to wrap this series up. The intent is to basically play until the poplar are ready, maybe the barley, but predominantly the poplar. Yeah. I'm been pondering the old farm sim videos, and particularly the Let's Plays, actually today more than anything. I was pondering whether we and I don't particularly want to, actually, because I'm enjoying Rotama Island a lot. So really pondering binning off this series and maybe the Terra Life series, because of only making a few farm sim videos a week at the moment. Maybe just doing Rotama Island for a bit. Maybe just doing a new series to freshen things up a bit for me, predominantly, because we've been playing this save since the game released. So yeah, I don't know, it's just something that I've been considering. I say mainly because I make less farm sim videos in a week now, and having 3 series when you only make 2 or 3 farm sim videos in a week is not great. Going down to 2 would probably be a good idea. So yeah, it's what I'm thinking. It would be kind of sad to drop the Terra Life stuff, because I never really got to grips with it, but I'm not really getting to grips with it at the rate that I'm playing it. So yeah, it's still very fresh in my thoughts, but we shall see. I should have added in, I think, is it Yosu has a mod that does the counting of wrapped bales? That would be useful to add in, I think. So the mini BGA updated. Hopefully it all works fine now. When I tested it before I resubmitted it, yes, I test things. Some people seem to think that was a bit weird. There's one of the people that was having issues with the mini BGA and asking through the Maize Plus Discord, and they claimed they fixed their issue by changing tractor. So clearly it was something not related to the mod being broken, and they were asking us. I said, no, I tested that before I submitted the mod. I think they were saying, like, basically they couldn't manure into the BGA. It's like, no, that works. So yeah, but I tested it before the game updated, obviously, and what broke it last time was a game update. Now I have done a test since, and it still worked, but hopefully it's all okay. You never know. The update went through testing when Giants eventually got around to testing it without any issues, which is cool because it was a fairly minor update. But I was a little bit nervous, so because you never know. And it was a change of a trigger definition and some capacities in the XML. But you never know with these things if someone's going to change their mind on something, and you're going to have to do a bunch of rework. So that's been updated. Not sure actually if any of the updates affect the version that we've got on here. Yeah, they will up. So we've got the bigger capacities, which is kind of cool. So the changes that were implemented, I'm struggling to remember because I did them a while. It took a while to get tested. We're fixing the broken trigger, obviously, and then the fast variants got larger capacity, and the cow variants, so the fast cow and the concrete cow, got their capacities adjusted so that when you fill them, the recipes should run better with kind of less left over at the end, or the different fills. So yeah, that was kind of what I was aiming for with that update. I've just scratched my back and my arms cramped up. Getting old sucks. Getting old sucks. Anyway, wow. Not a lot of weight on the front end there. Maybe I should put the weight on the tractor. So yeah, we've also had the in brackets Ford DLC, or in quotation marks. Hopefully those of you that are watching this video watched my video about Ford. Don't know if you watched the Giants live stream ahead of the DLC release and their complete non-answer to the many questions about, does that mean X from Ford is going to be available, and Kermit's completely non-answer of, we don't know. We don't possibly know the terms of the licensing agreement we've taken out. What you do, buddy, is you pick the phone up, or you get whatever email client you use, and you email your IP department, or Frank, or whoever deals with licensing and intellectual property at Giants, because they know. They know the terms of the deal that you've done, particularly as Ford is quite complicated, and you probably don't want to annoy Ford Motor Company, who own the licenses. So they know. They know. And I'm sure Kermit knows. And I'm pretty sure the answer is, say we don't know. Because that sells more. Because, you know, if you're a on the fence gamer, because they've probably got numbers for, you know, like the number of console players that are still playing FS22. I would assume. I assume they can get information on that. Number of people that are still playing 22 on Steam. And if they can convert those to 25 by dangling a Ford badge in front of them, that's cash. If they clarify that actually their deal just covers the Ford Versatile tractors that they've already got, because they've done a deal with Basak Tractors in Turkey, who own Versatile, it's not going to sell quite the same as, oh, you mean I can get my Ford whatever old tractor, you know, my Ford TW35, or the tractors people actually want from Ford. And the fact that when they got to the Q&A bit, and I mean, even someone asked in the Q&A, does this mean we can get Ford pickup trucks? And Kermit said, I don't know. And it's like, really? You really weren't able to go and talk to the person that deals with licensing and IP and clarify that your deal isn't with Ford Motor Company. Because I know he's been asked this question many times, and if you're preparing for a stream about the DLC ahead of the launch of the DLC, you know this question is going to be asked. You would find out, and I'm certain that they know, and that they know the answer is an answer that the community won't like, and therefore the answer is we don't know. We're trying to find out. Darn it. And if you kind of break that down a little bit while we run to the store. So you're Giants, a large-ish, medium-sized, small software developer. But you routinely do deals with equipment manufacturers to license their vehicles to include in your game. And it's very important that you understand that, because you don't want to annoy those manufacturers. And so you've done a deal to bring one of the most requested brands to your video game. Do you really think at this point they don't understand the terms of that deal? That would have been the most scrutinized deal that they could have done, I would have thought, because of the complexity. Yeah, it's utter bollocks that they're claiming they don't know. The bit of my brain that really hates injustice and gets frustrated with this bit wants to take some clips from the Q&A and expand on what I've just been talking about and kind of take the P out of them in a video. Because it's utter bollocks. We're a Bayless, sorry. Concentrate. Brownie wrap. Green. $4,000. Jeepers. Jeepers there, bud. Are we filling up? We are. Wow, that was good. Good use there. Yeah, part of me really wants to make a video taking the P out of them, but I don't have the platform. You know, the last time I looked, a few hundred people had watched that video, and the creators like DJ just don't seem to have a freaking clue, and are just singing Ford's coming. But it's Ford tractors. It's not Ford trucks and whatever stuff. And yeah, it just massively frustrates me, and it's even more frustrating when Kermit's sitting there claiming that Giants don't know the terms of their licensing deal with a brand like Ford. It's just utter bollocks. Because if they genuinely don't know, then they're opening themselves up to be sued when they get it wrong. And that's not going to happen. So they know. Anyway, calm, tranquil, peaceful thoughts. We have the DLC. I've pretty much only played with it in the first look video that I did. I quite like the vehicles that are in it. Some stuff that came from that stream that was quite informative and interesting. Giants actually went to the museum where Big Roy is stored. They did 3D scans of it to build the model because no CAD model existed, so they created the CAD model themselves. or the 3D model themselves. They did fresh sound recordings of the actual vehicle to put them in game. So the sounds of the Big Roy and the old Versatiles and Fords are actually recordings of those vehicles, because they saw some of those as well on their trip. So I thought that was kind of cool. Again, I quite like those big Fords. Apparently my comments about their speeds was incorrect, and I did actually go and look on tractor data, and they were really actually that slow. So maybe the person that was saying that the people they'd spoke to said theirs were faster. Maybe they'd, got the old screwdriver out and souped things up a bit. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I looked on tractordata.com or whatever it is, and 13 miles an hour was the top speed of those old tractors. I'm still a little bit frustrated about the lime thing. So I get that you can't put lime through air booms. I get that now. But the other box on the Rogator Fendt list as taking lime. The manufacturer says you can put lime in it. Then there was some chat on the Giant stream that maybe it's granulated lime and we don't have granulated lime in game. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit frustrating sometimes that being so constantly limited. I think I've got the DLC activated. So if we go to screw it. Let's find it this way. Yeah. If we go to this guy, it holds what, 8,500 liters. So 8,500 liters, which is comparable to the small Breedle, which spreads lime. So it's yeah. Oh no, I'm whinging still. Been a mentally tiring day today. And physically, because I went out for a run afterwards to clear the old brain out a little bit. Bosh. So I guess once we've got all the bales wrapped, there's blooming a lot of them, we probably need to think about sleeping, both in game and in reality. So tired. And then maybe doing some things precisely. You're going to need to do a lot of soil sampling. We're so short of cash. And spending £4 on bale wrap probably hasn't helped us, has it? No. But that is a lot of silage that we can throw through the BGA. So, it'll probably work out okay. Yeah, we'll finish getting these wrapped. We'll have a little snooze. We'll maybe then lease the soil. I haven't actually done any soil sampling in FS25. Because it's all been testing, I just buy the soil mass for that, or use no, I don't. Have I used the console? I think there's a console command to do it, but I don't think I've used that. No. I just tend to buy them because you just use GS money and you have all of the money in the world. Wish you could do that in real life. Right. Yeah, break. But I think I'm going to get these finished up, and then I will come back to you guys in a bit. We're pretty much done. Ended up stacking the others up this end of the field because it was a bit of a silly idea driving all the way to the other end of the field. So, yeah, I don't think we actually own that little corner of land, but, you know, don't think anyone's going to get upset because it's not what happens in Farm Sim. So, it'll be fine. Heck, we could put them in the middle of another farmer's field and nothing would happen. Well, maybe some of you lot would get upset, but anyway. It reminds me of a fun story. Sandy Bay, one of my favourite maps in time of playing Farming Simulator. And if you know that map, to the north of the map there was you could buy like the communal area, and there was some grass fields, which you could mow and get grass from if you bought the free land. But there were also NPC vehicles which would drive on that to give the map boundary life. And they had collisions. And I used to end up sometimes baling and wrapping and doing that quite late. And I'd be working away and bales would disappear because the NPC tractors would knock them off the map. Yeah. So in the end, I learned how to use Giants Editor to move them. I think that was some of the first stuff that I ever did with Giants Editor, was learning how to move those annoying NPC tractors. And they then drove around way, way off the map. So that can probably go there. Let's check on our animals and let's check time saving stock check. So they're okay. They need feeding. That was something that we needed to remember to do when we logged into the game next, wasn't it? Why didn't you remind me? You've been sat here listening to me ramble away bloody ages, and not one of you said I needed to feed the pigs. Not a one of you. Bloody useless, the lot of you. Bloody useless. Right. Well, we better go buy some pig food, hadn't we? I'm sure I own pallet forks. Yeah, I do. See, there they are. Right. What I'm thinking is we will also check time-saving stock check. So we've got a decent amount of potential future silage. Lettuce price is not at its best yet. Wool price is not at its best yet. Goat's milk is at its best, but we don't really have very much of it. But we could get a couple of grand off of that, so maybe we throw that, get that sold. Soybeans are way off yet. Yeah, so we maybe grab the goat's milk as well. This guy won't mind. Let's just whiz around in this edge of his field. No harm done. I think there's probably only one pallet of goat's milk. With it being 500 litres. Yeah. So, oh, lettuce. Lettuce needs to go up. So let's connect to the tree law. I've spoken to the local police and transport and all that, and this is perfectly legal. if you're making videos for YouTube. There's a dispensation in the local transport laws that if you're making videos on YouTube, you are entitled to transport pallets of goat's milk churns on the forks of a front loader. And because it has the potential to make good content, and so it's completely allowed. So we'll head to the dairy first, and then we'll swing by the store, pick up the pig food that we need, feed to pigs, and then we'll sleep. And at least selling the goat's milk will get us some money to feed to pigs, which will help. Or every little helps, as they say. Every little helps. Eh? There's an ad slogan in that, isn't there? Yep, there's an ad slogan in that. So, yeah, run down to the store and carry on from there. So it was between farm sim video or a truck sim video today, and I seem to crash less in truck sim. That's a thing. But in the end, partly because I crash less in trucks, this requires a bit less thought sometimes. Not always, actually, not always, but because this game is less new to me. Oh, we could take the bale wrap back as well, couldn't we? Look away, children! Look away! Actually, there's a path down here. It's okay. I was not contemplating cutting across the field at all. It's fine. No, not I, sir. Not I. And the dairy is just over there. Yeah. So once I have finished today, I'm going to sit and eat a packet of biscuits, which is very healthy, I know. Don't judge. It's been a day. So every quarter of a year, just in case we meet up with our customer and basically have a chat with them, and that's part of my job. So I have, I've spent the day updating our customer on what we've been up to for the last 3 months, what the issues are, and all that kind of stuff. And my brain's pickled. It also involved meeting a new person from that organization. And yeah. Tired brain. The day before, which would be yesterday, wouldn't it? Because that's how days work. In the office was quite tiring, and so yeah. And I've found, I was going to say as I've got older, but actually over probably the last year, which is as I've got older, because again, that's how getting older works as time progresses. My brain does not recover as quickly from tiring events, which is really frustrating. I think it's related to some of the other issues I've discussed in videos, and in that I find situations like that very mentally taxing. But those of you that know the background to that. If you're newer here or you don't pay attention, you won't. So, anywho, pig food. Do we think 4 bags of pig food? Yeah. Can we just... remembering that realism is key. And just imagine that I'm using the forks, okay? Use the forks, Luke. Did I say it'd been a long day? Did I? I think I had. I think I had. So, yeah. This is just... as soon as we get to the farm, we're going to have to tip it out anyway. So... it seems kind of dumb to worry about bringing over the trailer in kind of pallet form-ish words. And then loading the bags up and all that faff. When we can just do that. And again, I've checked. The local constabulary say that we are 100% okay to transport pallets like this. But just... yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's fine. So we'll get all this back to the farm. Then we'll sleep. And then we'll probably have to come back to the store because we're going to need a soil scanner. And we'll see what some of our fields look like. Because I haven't had a look at all yet. Let's head down to the next turning, shall we? Yeah. This will be perfect. We'll take the turn slowly because we have an unconventional load. There we go. Lovely job. Right. Feed. I don't think I was watching him when I made the last one of these. I've been watching a new to me YouTube channel called Grok TV. He makes videos in automation and BeamNG and other driving games, and it's kind of funny, stupid stuff. It's not like stuff I would normally watch, but lately it's been kind of nice because it's mostly mindless comedy. It's not really doing him justice because I think he puts quite a lot of... there's something behind it, you know. But yeah, it's funny, and I like funny at the moment. In the same way that I'm still really enjoying watching anything that involves James May. The man is a true genius. So, right. Let's unload the trailer and drop that off at the piggery. Do they have straw still? Because I don't remember. They have plenty of straw. This will give them food. There we go. So we can disconnect that and go put the bale wrap under cover. And then we will sleep, and then we will explore the fields. I'm looking forward to selling the lettuce. That's going to be one heck of a payday. About 40 grand, wasn't it? Let's just put that on the edge there. That'll be fine. And sleep. And we will see what the morning brings. Joy and happiness, I am sure. Now, she's going to bring farming, because, you know, that's how that works. So, let's just quickly check all they could do with some agua. What am I doing? They could do with some agua. Is there any in the trailer? No. Annoying. I told him he has to leave the trailer full when he finishes, and he didn't. Cannot get the staff these days. Cannot get the staff. At the weekend, we caught up on Clarkson's Farm. I think we caught up with all of it that's available to date. Quality TV. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, but yeah, quality TV. That's a reasonable amount to repair that, so we'll do that. It must be the loader arms that are damaged. Let's have a squiz, shall we? Yeah, I'm not worried about those being damaged. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Good quality telly. Right, definitely worth a watch. And as I've mentioned it a few times, but if you enjoyed the James May bit of any of like the Grand Tour and stuff, check out his YouTube stuff. It's brilliant. He is really good. So there's the James Gin YouTube channel, which is mostly James, but he has a couple of other people on there with him. And then he's on a few other channels as well. Just search for James May. Yeah, really good. Really good. Bosch. Well, they took plenty. So I find myself quite often because I tend to binge channels, that I will then occasionally start dropping in phrases that they use because I just watch so much. Like the Grog TV one, I think I watched his entire back catalogue in like 3 days, 4 days. So it kind of affects then. Like they have catchphrases and they just get stuck in my mind. So, anywho, precise farming. So currently, we know nothing, and that's a pretty crappy field. That's a good field. That's a very good field. That's a good field. That's a very good field. That's not so good. So we need to do some soil sampling. If we were to purchase them, it would be 700. So 7 plus 8, about 15, call that 1600. Plus another 7, so what's that? 2,300. 300. Let's call that 3,200. 44-ish. About 4,400. So miscellaneous scout lease. It's going to cost us £800 to lease it. 1 moment, viewer. I'm just trying to work out if we should it might just be easier to buy it, to buy the samples. I'm just looking up what it costs to have soil sampling done. So let's have a look. There's 100 per sample. So if we took about 30 samples, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. So if we do more than 6 samples per field, on average, plus leasing, we might as well buy them, is what that tells me. But, as I said in the video on weeds, sometimes you can do things just because it's fun to play the game. So we're going to go get the soil sample. Because you don't always have to do it just because it's the most economically sensible thing to do. So we'll go lease the soil sampler. We should only need to lease it. We're not going to be on here long enough that we will need to be rescanning. And we'll sample some soils rather than soiling some samples, which is completely different. I left the tram lines in the NPC fields. It is possible to remove them. It's fairly simple to remove them. It's a fairly simple edit to the XML file. Again, I'd looked at doing a video on it before the update came out, but I was kind of focused on doing the weeds stuff because that was so time consuming. And was kind of waiting for Giants to sort their out. We need to swap our tyres. We should redo that back at the farm, shouldn't we? For realism's sake, because our tyres would be at the farm, wouldn't they? Not at the garage. And we don't want to leave the other set at the garage. Realism's key, folks. Realism is key, you know. Bosh. Let's go. So, speaking of interesting YouTube channels, and then speaking of catchphrases and using one from Linus of Linus Tech Tips, Alex of Linus Tech Tips and Andy, he was one of their main camera operators. I don't know if he still does. I think he does. Have created a car-based YouTube channel called Zip Tie Tuning, so ZTT. And if you're a fan of Linus Tech Tips and you know Alex off of there and the kind of janky stuff he does with computers, basically he's doing that with cars because he loves cars. So it's really cool. At the point that I'm recording this, they've released 2 videos, and they've been really good. The second one was brilliant. So Alex has brought the cheapest convertible he could find on Facebook. Yeah, it's really good. It's they're doing rather well because the algorithm is favorable and is recommended to me just because I assume they know how to do YouTubey stuff because they're professionals at it. But yeah, they're doing their channels. Last time I looked, had some. I think it's got like 18,000 subscribers in 2 days or something silly. But I'm saying that because it's really good to watch, and because I enjoy. Alex is one of the writers from LTT that I really enjoy watching. So if you enjoy him as part of their channel, and you hadn't seen that they have a channel, you should watch it. Right, we want to try and maximize the minimize the amount of samples we need to do. So that's about right. So B for sample. I think this is going to work out cheaper actually, as long as we're less than, on average, 6 samples per field. We'll be good. And then obviously we're going to need to get the old lime. We're going to need a lime spreader because ours is tiny. So we're going to have to go back through that process, I expect. And fertilizing, we have got a reasonable amount of digestate for the fields that don't have crops in them. Can we get this in one? Wish you could zoom in more on that mini-map rather than just making it bigger. I'm going to go for that because I'm traveling. The monitor that I use is relatively small, so I'm going to go for that as good enough. So let's send those off because then we'll get the results relatively quickly. I believe. I think it's affected by how many samples you send. Yep. Let's have a look at this field. Oh, good stuff. So I'm going to call that good enough. Yeah, we'll call that good enough, I think. Particularly as the field is not awesome. Can we? Yeah, we can't just about span the entire field here. So, I think we'll accept that. Yeah, that'll do. We're gonna have to do maybe 3 on this one as well. But definitely better than 6. So looking pretty good for actually being cheaper than having brought the soil maps, which is nice. Can we do this in 2? Yep. Awesome. But probably, because I think I've been rambling for quite a long time, and this segment's nearly half an hour. I won't do any of these field work today, but we can at least get these fields sampled. This might have to be 2 across, I think. No? No? We might get away with it. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm pleased. I'm very pleased that the poplar field is not an utter mess. So that makes me happy. Yeah, we're going to have to do quite a bit of overlap on this, but if we can do it in a single pass, I think it's still going to work out effective. So we'll do it this way rather than doing 2 heavily overlapped up-downs. We'll do 1 heavily overlapped up. That's 3 samples. So yeah, this is going to be the first field that we might get close to or do more than the 6, but it's one of our bigger fields, so, you know. So far, we are pretty good on how we are compared to if we brought the samples. So far, I think we've done I think this is 12 in total. So send those off. I'll go do the soybean field. This is going to need a bit more because it's a bigger field. So go there, shall we? I think we'll have to do two rows on this field. I think will be sensible. We do something like this, and oh, we got that one for free, I think. So we're at least not going completely broke on the soil sampling. And I'm hoping we can get away without having to buy huge amounts of lime. We'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling that these harvested fields are not going to be quite so generous to us as the field that's got crop in it. But it doesn't seem to be set up as bad as previous versions were in terms of starting sort of lime and nitrogen and stuff. So that's quite nice. There's 2 fields that have used 6, and then the other 2 fields we did within 6. So far we are up. Except I've just hit the scan button, so you know that was a bit dumb. Oh well. Let's get those sent off. Let's go check the grass field that we scanned previously and got the results back for. So we've got the results for these 2 fields actually. So if we stop on the join of the fields, so nitrogen is okay but needs lime badly and needs everything. Okay, so we are going to need to lease a lime spreader. You get that field back in shape, and this is going to be another set of 2, isn't it? Yeah, so let's just accept it and get her done. So there we go. So this one might be even more. This might be like 7 samples, maybe. I don't know. It's not the biggest farm in the world, is it? But so I'm going to assume I've released the weed video before I release this video. And this is an example of a farm where this is going to be a lot of samples. You probably wouldn't bother treating the weeds unless you needed to plough the field, or there was a weeder on sale, and then I would think about mechanical weeding. Personally, that would be how I would tackle it. It would be interesting to. We've got the Seed Hawk on sale. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on the sales with precision farming enabled to see if any See and Spray equipped sprayers crop up. Or if the sprayers are only normal sprayers, because that would change the maths as well. That would definitely change the maths. So it is something to consider. But yeah, for me, for a farm this size, particularly when we've only got really a couple of fields where weeds are a concern, I would really be looking at not bothering with the weeds at all, and just let them grow. Yeah, so this was an expensive one to scan. But scanned we are. And just ping those results off. We'll go check the soybean field for its status. And we'll come back and check on that last grass pasture as well. This is, yeah, so this needs liming and will need nitrogen because we plan to put grass in here as a cover crop / cash crop as we wrap up or plan around wrapping things up. And then this field is actually not bad, but a little bit of lime won't hurt it. So yeah, that's it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed my rants and rambles. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, and I'll see you all next time.